Alright, welcome back to my Shadowgate 64 any percent tutorial. Where we last left off, we finished the Dragon Tower, the final tower of the game, and we've now entered the end game. The dragon drops us off here, near the stable, from earlier in the game that we don't actually go into, but now we are going to go into it. So walk through this door. From here, if you look forward and to the right, you'll see a small container full of hay. Walk up to the container of hay, and use the flint. This will ignite flames, which allows for a good distraction for us to get somewhere else. From here, look to your left, and we're going to go this way. Take another slight left, and you'll see some double doors. We're going to go in the double doors. In this room, if you look straight to your right, you'll see a guy. Now, this section can be kind of tricky. In order to proceed forward, we actually need to use a specific item on this guy so that we can go in the door behind him. Unfortunately, if you get too close to the guy, he'll simply push you away. I'll show you what I mean. Well, you learn something new every day, folks. For some reason, he's not pushing us away. Well, okay. Anyway, you want to use Jezebel's pendant on this guy. You can see it's all the way to the right in our item inventory. The quickest way to it would be to press down, then left. So to reiterate that, open your menu, down, left, Jezebel's pendant. It turns out that this guy murdered Jezebel. And showing him the pendant reminds him of his evil deeds, and he enters a state of sadness or madness, whatever you prefer, and he leaves. This allows us to go into this room, where we're going to have our final and only confrontation with the game's villain, Belzar. Now, walking forward, you can see a pedestal. That is our destination, but I do want to point one other thing out. There's actually a door over there. If you go in there, Belzar is actually standing right inside that door, and Belzar will kill you. So don't do that. Just go up to the pedestal, and use the dragon eye that we collected in the Dragon Tower. Once we've done that, the game will take over for us, and we'll enter a scripted scene, where we walk out of the way and we need to hide because Belzar is approaching. More or less, Belzar is trying to create a Staff of Ages of his own to have ultimate power. And we have finished the job for him by putting a gem on there. And Belzar believes that he's going to be able to use this sort of fake Staff of Ages to achieve ultimate power. Unfortunately, Belzar is kind of wrong, as you'll see. I'll let the cutscene play out. Although, there is one text box during this section. You can let them just play, but you can also mash to dismiss them. Now, as you can see, didn't really work out for Belzar very much, and unfortunately it resurrected a much more powerful evil sorcerer than he. Our job now is to defeat this sorcerer. We unfortunately cannot do this. Only Lord Jair can. So we need to resurrect Lord Jair, and this will finish the game. We are now truly at the main end of the game. We take one step forward from the recently destroyed room, and we get a final scene with Lakmir. Where Lakmir explains that the Warlock Lord has risen, and what are we ever to do? From here, if you turn to your right, you'll see a sort of a hole in the wall down here. We want to go in this hole. And from here, we're actually back into the main sort of portion of the sort of like the area. I guess what would you call this area? I guess it's the area where we can get to the fountain and stuff. And that's actually where we're going. We're going straight through these doors. Once we enter here, we get a small scripted scene where we see that the Warlock Lord is looming and watching over us. I advise potentially making a safety save here, as this section can get a little squirrely if you get some weird positioning. So from here, we're going to turn around and look at that statue, and I'm going to make a safety save just in case. Then we're going to go up to this statue, and we're going to use 2 items on it. It's very important that the first item you use is the Staff of Ages. Puts the Staff of Ages in the statue's hand. After that, enter your menu and use the Ring of the Kingdom. It'll put the Ring of the Kingdom on Lord Jair's finger. And after you dismiss this final text box, that ends the timer for the run, and you have beaten the game. So when I press A, the game is now over. And we have beaten the game. And we can watch Lord Jair deliver the final blow to the Warlock Lord. Like so. And if you've been following along, congratulations, you have now beaten Shadowgate 64 and are ready to do your first runs. Remember, there's no shame in making safety saves and playing safe. This game is very volatile, and if you aren't saving and you die, your run is over. You cannot continue where you left off. So thank you for watching this tutorial series for Shadowgate 64. There's not a whole lot of resources for this game, and the speedrun community is extremely small. As such, I thought it was appropriate to make a video tutorial in order to help guide people through not only the route, but just what is needed to proceed and beat the game in general. There's still probably a lot of discoveries to be made in this game, so I encourage experimentation, especially with the route through the middle of the game when you're going through the town of Castle Shadowgate. And that's really all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Kefka14, signing out.